Hello and welcome to Markets View at Deven Choksey, your daily market podcast where we decode the Indian financial markets. Like every day, let's get started with the global markets update. The GIFT Nifty is higher, indicating a start in the green for the Indian markets. Talking about the Asian markets, while the Asian markets are opening in a mixed manner, where Hang Seng is down, Nikkei is up around 1%. Overnight, the scenario with the US market, it ended largely higher, where S&P Nasdaq extended winning streaks. However, US futures slightly see higher after cash market ending in the green. S&P 500 ended higher last night for the 8th consecutive straight session, first time since 2021. Nasdaq posts 9th straight day of gains. Dow snaps 7-day gaining streak. The Disney has risen around 3% in after-hours trade on better than expected profit. Just like domestic market, the global markets are also ongoing with the result season, and the impact is clearly seen. The US 10-year yield extends decline at 4%, and investors assess Fed officials' comments. Talking about the energy pack and bullion market, the Brent is below $80 a barrel, hitting 3-month low on demand concerns. Also, talking about the bullion market, the gold lacks momentum as traders seek more Fed cues. Gold and silver both in the global markets are trading with red signals. So this is how the entire global setup looks like. It's a mixed bag. There are concerns and challenges, so one needs to clearly consider what happens with the global markets. One needs to observe the Asian markets, which have opened mixed. And of course, GIFT Nifty right now is higher, which is indicating a start in green. But let's understand and let's keep observing as and when markets open up, what are the sentiments. Let us now take a look at how the trade setup for today's session looks like. Starting with Nifty, the Nifty continued for another session of indecisiveness where we did see a quick round of tussle between bulls and bears about the future market trend. But the index continued higher highs and higher lows formation for the fifth consecutive session on the 8th of November, which was yesterday's session. Hence, will the Nifty 50 march towards 19,550 to 19,600 levels is the question we will ask today. Taking the cues from Nifty, again, if we have a look at the levels in particular, the Nifty is required to decisively break 19,450, the critical resistance which coincides with the current scenario for further up move towards 19,550 to 19,600. But in case it reaches 19,400, then the correction can be possible up to 19,300 to 19,250, which is the current support area. Yesterday's session, if we have a look at Sensex, while it gained around 33 points to close at 64,976, Nifty rose around 37 points to close around 19,444 and formed a small scenario where we did see volatility as well as action, as there was a lot of stock-specific market news action in the market as well. Well, this market indicates the formation of a lot of volatility, which is backed by back-to-back, in fact, events which are coming in, just like the event season which is in domestic market. The same event season is running in the global markets, and apart from that, there are many very economic indicative actions also which one needs to consider. So clearly the signals are a bit confused, and the market is also in the confused state of mind among if we have a look at the indices in particular. Considering the market indices levels, and particularly if we deep dive, well, the opening upside gap of 2nd November, 3rd November and 6th November remains intact on the daily chart, and the immediate resistance of 19,300 has already been broken on the higher side. So this is one observation we need to consider. The overall chart pattern remains positive, and one may expect Nifty to advance towards 19,600 levels in the near term. Any dips from here could be a buying opportunity around 19,300 to 19,250 levels. Talking about the broader indices, the Nifty mid-cap and small-cap indices continue to perform better than the benchmark, rising around 1 to 1.5% respectively. If we have a look into mid-cap and small-cap, there was a lot of stock-specific action which we did see, and not just yesterday's session, but of course a few little sessions. If we have a look at the broader markets, are really giving signs of positivity and a lot of entry opportunities. So this is how the indices on the whole looks like. Now let's understand what are the support and resistance levels for both Nifty and Bank Nifty for today's session. Starting with Nifty, the Nifty might take support at 19,412, followed by 19,398 and 19,374. On the higher side, 19,460 can be an immediate resistance, followed by 19,475 and 19,499. Understanding Bank Nifty, while yesterday Bank Nifty snapped a 4-day run and did fall around 80 points to close at 43,659 level after consolidation, and literally there was a bearish candlestick pattern which was formed with a lower shadow on the daily scale. The overall pullback has faced resistance in the zone of 43,650 to 43,800. However, we expect this consolidation to ultimately break on the upside and stretch higher till 44,000 from a short-term perspective. Understanding the levels, it is expected that Bank Nifty might take support at 43,573, followed by 43,514 and 43,418. On the upside, the initial resistance is seen at 43,763, then 43,822 and 43,918. So this is how the indices pattern looks like. These are the support and resistance levels we need to consider during the session today. Moving ahead, let us quickly take a look at what are the important results which will be posted during the session today. While Adani Ports, Aurobindo Pharma, Bosch, Z Entertainment, Aditya Birla Fashion, Apollo Hospital, Ashok Leyland, Bajaj Consumer, Engineers India, GlaxoSmithKline, Lemon Tree Hotels, Samvardhana Motherson, Muthoot Finance, Nalco, Page Industries, RVNL, Sula Vineyards, Torrent Power will release quarterly earnings scorecard on 9th of November, which is the session today. So clearly, a lot of numbers, a lot of companies, cash, F&O and Nifty are going to post their numbers today, which one needs to consider. And let us now take a look at the stocks and news. To start with, Biocon will be in focus as the subsidiary Biocon Biologics has entered into a definitive agreement with Eris Life Sciences for the divestiture of its dermatology and nephrology branded formulations business unit in India on a slump scale basis. The total transaction value of the divestment is 366 crores. The next stock in news is Tata Power Company, as the Tata Group company has reported a 8.8% year-on-year increase in consolidated net profit at 1,017 crore for quarter ended September FY24, partly driven by other income and lower tax cost. The revenue from operations stood at 15,738 crore for the quarter, increasing 12% over a year-ago period, largely driven by higher revenue from core business of generation, transmission and distribution. The next in the list is Mazagon Dock and Shipbuilders. The state-owned shipbuilding company has entered a massive 56% year-on-year growth in consolidated profit at 333 crore for July-September period of FY24, driven by other income and strong operating numbers. Consolidated revenue from operations increased by 7% to 1,827 crore compared to the year-ago period. The next stock in the list is Pidilite Industries, and yes, there is actually a long list of stock-specific movement which one needs to consider during the session today, as there is a lot of news flow coming in. Talking about Pidilite Industries, the adhesives, sealants and construction chemical manufacturing company has reported a 36% year-on-year growth in consolidated profit at 458 crore for the quarter ended September FY24, driven by healthy operating numbers post fall in input cost. Revenue from operations increased by 2% on a year-on-year basis to 3,076 crore for the quarter, with domestic consumer volume at 8%. Good set of numbers. One needs to keep an eye on Pidilite Industries for the session today. The next stock in list is United Spirits. The alcoholic beverage company has registered a 37% year-on-year decline in standalone profit at 341 crore for the July-September period of FY24, as the base was high due to exceptional gain. Standalone revenue from operations fell by 1.4% on a year-on-year basis to 2,864 crore for the quarter. Oil India will also be in focus, as the state-owned oil and gas exploration company has reported an 81% year-on-year decline in standalone profit
at 325 crore for the quarter ended September FY24, impacted by the exceptional losses. Revenue from operations grew by 15% on a year-on-year basis to 5,342 crore. So clearly, two companies. One is the alcoholic beverage company United Spirits, and the other one is the state-owned oil and gas exploration company Oil India. Both the companies have posted weak set of numbers, and there might be an impact which will be seen during the session. Last but not the least, one should keep an eye on Bata India, as the footwear company has recorded a 38% year-on-year decline in consolidated profit at 34 crore for July-September period of FY24. This is impacted by expenses towards VRS, but operating numbers were strong. Revenue from operations declined by 1.3% to 819 crore compared to the corresponding period last year. So these are all the stocks and news. Of course, a long list of stocks and news which we need to consider for the session today. There are results-specific news and of course news flows as well, which will make an impact on the following stocks. Now let's take a look at the FIs and DIs data. The foreign institutional investors offloaded shares worth 84 crore, while domestic institutional investors bought shares worth 524 crore. So this is how the FIs and DIs data look like. So this is how the trade setup for the session today looks like. The global queues as well as the domestic queues are up and running, and yes, of course, the festival season has kick-started. We are in the Diwali week and there's a lot of action, of course, in the market. With this, we come to the wrap of our podcast for the session today. Nevertheless, one needs to consider, like we always say, that irrespective of market conditions, research is the backbone of successful portfolio creation. Wealth creation is an art that we understand. We at Deven Choksey have our exclusive research services which are powerful and successful. To avail our exclusive research services, we invite you to join us. Just click on the link below and you're done. Fill in your basic details and our team will reach out to you. So don't wait any further and embark on the wealth building adventure together. Thank you and have a nice day.